talking about? Well, I'm talking about the one and only Carey Bolt. How you doing today, Carey?
I'm great. How are you, Ann?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, listen, you've got a big event coming up this Sunday.
We do. A very big event.
And it is the Hall of Heroes. Now, you've got quite a group that you are inducting here,
Yes, ma'am.
including one woman, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tell us a little bit about this, Carey. I mean, this is something that you started over in Lawrence. How many years ago?
This year will be Lauren's, the 9th event for Hall of Heroes.
That's right. And so you've had a lot of veterans that have been inducted over there. We had some in 2011, and then last year with the big project over there at the Veterans Center, you didn't, but this one coming up, and every year you're going to do it from now on. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Every year.
What does the Hall of Heroes mean to you, Carey?
Well, what we do, we try to make the community aware of the greatness that walks by them every day. And to give you an understanding of it, how it came to be in Lawrence, I had 2 World War II veterans jump out of a car with me one afternoon and say that I better make things better. So I went downstairs and I got to looking at their military records thinking, what could I do? And it turned out that one of the major people that was talking to me was Mr. W.R. Garrett. And it turns out everybody in Lawrence knew W.R. Garrett as a farmer, but they didn't know of Doug Garrett having 4 Bronze Stars for Valor and a Silver Star.
Wow. Wow. So that was, so is that when you got the idea to do the Hall of Heroes?
Yes, ma'am. I kept thinking, what can I do? What should I do? And what I did, I went to the Fort Jackson, I went to Fort Bragg, Fort Stewart, and I asked them, hey, can you send people up here to see me, and let's recognize some people. And our first year was in 2005. We went to the fairgrounds, the Exchange Club, they hosted it, they didn't charge us anything. The South Carolina Army National Guard, they brought up Apaches and tanks and stuff like this to display for the public for the day. And we had 6 World War II veterans and 1 young man we did posthumous that was an Iraqi veteran. He had came back and he died of cancer about 60 days after his return. He was a local policeman also.
Oh.
And
so there was the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, it just started from there. And we thought we'd be lucky maybe to have 100 people at that. And we had almost probably 500 or 600 people. I had a heart attack, but and then now they just come to expect it every year, and our showcases are displayed at the courthouse.
Now, how does somebody get nominated to be in the Hall of Heroes? How does that work?
I asked the public to send me in something the beginning of each year, and we usually do it from January till July. And I need an honorable discharge for verification. We need verification of whatever little narrative they do on them. We ask the public to also have a shadow box for that particular veteran, and that's pretty much it. We want to know something about them, their military history, and everybody doesn't have to have a Bronze Star or Silver Star. We've got one little man from Lawrence who served World War II, did his thing, honorably came back, and the county had cut off some funding for the old folks' home, and he's really upset about that. And this man, up into his, he's 82 now, up until about 2 years ago, he would grow tons and tons of food and take to these people. To me, that's an all-American person. Served his country. Yeah. So I'm looking for the greatness of people, community and military.
So if the public knows somebody that, whether it's a family member or a friend or somebody in the community, they should, after this event, by the end of the year, first of the year, be letting you know about these people that they think would be worthy to be nominated?
Yes, ma'am, because you've got to understand, by the time we get to the point of where we are right now to actually do this, to recognize these people, we're trying to prepare. Again, it's really hard. And it's nothing that the VA requires us to do. It's something we take upon ourselves because, again, like I tell the public each year, you never know who you walk by.
Absolutely. One of the things that I like about talking to our veterans and everything and thanking them for their service, and which reminds me I need to thank you for your service to our country. I found out some things about you and what you served and did. Thank you very much for your service, Carey Bolt.
Well, thank you.
And some of the ones that I have been most amazed at is some guys are like, well, thank you. Nobody says that much anymore. But then there's the ones that say, oh, it was nothing, and I go, now wait a minute here. Or it was a long time ago. I think sometimes they say that. But you know what? Each and every one of them likes for somebody to recognize that. And I don't think that's too much to notice somebody that's wearing a veteran's hat, or, you know, an older person that you can tell, or maybe they're telling a military story or something. That pretty much tells they probably were involved in the military in some way.
Well, see, that's like I tell people also. I mean, besides not knowing who you walk by, I mean, I wouldn't want the secret to get out, but our country's still at war.
Yes, that is true. That is true. And we still have people that are going over, and we have people coming back, and we have people that have problems. And, you know, that's one of the things that I think a lot of people may not realize, is that that's where the Veteran Center, and having a beautiful, wonderful center right here in Greenwood is such an awesome thing, because you can make a difference in somebody's paperwork getting refiled or looking at the file. That's the biggest thing that actually that you do, isn't it, Carey? Helping people with benefits?
We deal with 3 primary functions: pension, compensation, and medical for veterans.
And it's tough out there. You know, you hear all the time too, Carey, and I mean, I would just love a little bit of clarification, that sometimes we have veterans waiting 9 months, a year, or longer to get the benefits.
And that's pretty much facts. Anybody that says they get it quicker, then I need to hook up with them and they can
Find out.
That's right.
That's not right, Carey, is it?
Well, no, it's not. The thing is, we can expedite in this local office. We can get it to where it needs to go. But now we're learning the system a lot better, and we're finding personnel that we're in contact with in Washington or in Columbia. So I've been in this business long enough to know now how to kind of get around a lot of curves and red tape.
And, you know, I think when I first met you and first had you on, a lot of people thought, well, you're actually on the side of the government. You're not on the side of the veteran. But that's not true.
No, it's not. I represent the veterans and their dependents as if I were their lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, but the thing is, I know the do's and don'ts. I know how to advise them. I know how to get them to correct medical people or legal people.
And one of the other things is that sometimes somebody could be turned down for something, and you can go back and look at the file and see where maybe they made a mistake, they didn't get the right information, and you can pull it back through again if you see that there's a reason why it should be brought back through.
For veterans, the appellate process is unlimited as long as you have new evidence in each appeal.
Sure. But sometimes they may have made a mistake.
Yep.
They might not have turned in the piece of information that would have changed everything that's coming down there. So if you have a problem, or you have someone in your family who has a problem, you really need to talk to Carey Bolt and his staff down there. I mean, they do an awesome job. Carey has worked wonders, and every day people think that he can just wave a wand over there and make things happen. That's the problem when you do a good job, Carey Bolt.
I'm sorry. I'm cutting back.
You're cutting back? I don't think so. Hey, I'm here with Carey Bolt. We're going to be talking about the Hall of Heroes. Coming up, we're going to be talking about the people that are going to be in the Hall of Heroes. When the ceremony is, it is this coming Sunday at 3 p.m. at the Josephine B. Abney auditorium. So you want to be there. It will be awe-inspiring, and to honor these people is something we need and we should do. Hey, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Oh, that's right. We're right back here, Sharp Facets Gallery on the 72 bypass. And I tell you what, I'm here with Carey Bolt. We're talking about the Hall of Heroes 2013 program that's going to be coming up this Sunday, 3 p.m., and it is at the Josephine B. Abney Cultural Center right there at Lander University. 22 people from Greenwood County are going to be inducted. That's a large group. Is that exceptionally large or an average size?
It is. We're trying to do a lot of the World War II veterans here because they, of course, we're behind the power curve here.
Right.
And the death rate is so quick, so
Sure.
much. So that's why we're doing so many. We've got everything: Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan. We've got everything, but I try to do a lot more for my older guys.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know whether you know this or not, I went to the ceremony that Senator Tim Scott had, the 60th anniversary of the Korean War, back in July, I think it was. That was a truly great experience there.
I heard it was really good.
It was.
He seems to be a really good guy. I haven't had the privilege of meeting him yet.
He is.
I've been also told that the honor flights are getting ready to
Korean.
Yeah.
We're changing over to
Yeah.
Korean War veterans. Absolutely, they are. But met some awesome guys there. Had a couple, husband and wife down here, interviewed them. They were on the ship that the plane crashed into. There was fire, all this kind of stuff, and I mean, it's just a fascinating story. He also was on the ship with the baby that they brought back from Korea. 1,000 Men and a Baby. They actually made a movie about it. The guy that I interviewed, Ira King, and his wife Carey.
That sounds awesome.
It was very awesome. So, but let's talk about some of the guys and the one gal that we have. Let's talk about the gal first. Tell us about the gal there, Miss Tommy Catherine Cheatham Gray.
Yep, great little lady, and this little lady claims that she's 90 years old, but she doesn't look 90 years old, and she gets around better than me, and she is awesome. Long and short about her, this little lady was a young Army nurse. She went to OCS, the WAC Corps, really. And she was indoctrinated, and she was sent to a hospital where the whole duration of the war, this little lady had to deal with paralyzed and burned veterans the whole time.
Wow.
And I mean, to me, that says it all.
It does.
Because I mean, these people were
in horrible shape.
Yeah.
Yes.
And and she's got such an awesome attitude. Just a great little lady.
Okay. And that was for which war?
World War II.
World War II.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, she did it the whole war, and she's talking about, I didn't go to war. Yeah, she went to war.
Yeah,
she went to war every day.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And sometimes I don't think we do thank the nurses enough, do we?
No.
No.
Anybody in the medical corps? No.
Absolutely. So she's going to be there. She's going to be honored. How about some of the other guys? I mean, she's the only lady. We had to do her first.
Let's see here. How about William T. Rice? Here's a unique one.
Okay.
He's a World War II veteran.
Okay.
He was part of the Army Air Corps, and this fine gentleman, before his 22nd birthday, had completed 30 bombing runs, which was required to actually rotate and actually leave the war. Now, remember, 22 daylight bombing runs before, and he was 1 day before his 22nd birthday.
Unbelievable.
Okay, and I don't know if you can say this on radio, but I'm going to do it anyway. They would give them certificates if you lived that long to get that 30 runs.
Right.
And the certificate is called part of the Lucky Bastards Club.
Lucky Bastards Club. I like it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And they really have the certificate. Awesome. And the unique thing about this little guy right here, Mr. Rice, and Mr. Rice is 91, and he still gets around real good. And I asked Dr. Rice, I said, how does one go from being a bomber pilot to a doctor? And what a noble man he is. He said, I realized I killed and harmed so many people that I realized I had to do something better for humanity. What more majestic stuff?
I can't say anything more than that.
He's the man.
He is the man. Absolutely. All right. So there's a couple right there. All of them are outstanding. All of them are outstanding. I think sometimes some may have a little bit more of a story that can really touch you. But any others there, Carey, that are?
A young boy who is local here, Jonathan E. Gillespie II. He was an Army Ranger. He's trying to get into law enforcement. Great kid, great man, but
right.
He's younger than me. He is a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq, and you never hear a peep about it. And I had to almost choke him to do this. But I'm saying,
because he didn't want any recognition.
No, it's just he just hey look and the sad part about it is the young man, his career ended because of wounds, and but I mean, to see him you'd never know. But just a great young, and I thought, yeah, we got to show him off too. So that he's one. Let me see who else we have here. How about let's see, I got so many.
I know, it's quite a list, and we're going to read the whole list, but I just thought maybe some that kind of stood out.
But the thing is, they
all stand out.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying they all have their unique story, and the thing is, you have to beat it out of them. I mean, you really.
Why do you think that is, Carey?
Noble people. Well, I think once you've been there and you got that been there, done that badge,
Yeah.
you just people realize they did it for their country and their family, and that's it.
You know, one of the things that I would like to know, I would like the opportunity to talk to some of them and just ask them what they think of where our country is now. We've talked about that conversation before, haven't we?
I just want to be. I don't want to be here.
You don't want to be in the room when I do it. Well, let's see. We've got William Preston Rogers, Charles E. Johnston, Charles Chuck Drake.
Wait a minute,
Chuck.
Yep. You know about him,
Right.
Yes. Go ahead.
He was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam.
That's right.
He also was a little bit, I think, in the was he in the Korean War?
He had served in Korea, but not during the war.
Okay, and then of course he came back here, became a professor out there at Piedmont Tech. And one of the parts of the story I remember is when he came back here and he got the job at Piedmont Tech. He had been in Vietnam, and people told him it might be a better thing not to say anything about being in the Vietnam War. And of course, it wasn't 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, that he was in Washington, D.C., and Congressman Jeff Duncan honored him for his service to the Vietnam War. And I think, since that time, we certainly have realized the wrongness of that attitude. But Chuck Drake.
And you know the sad part about it?
Yeah.
Two-time winner for the Distinguished Flying Cross.
Well, see, now I didn't know that. I mean, we talked about a lot of different stories, but I didn't know that. That is the hard thing, to know all there is about somebody's life, particularly as it relates to service to our country. Okay, so then we've got Mr. John T. Nave, and of course Mr. Larry B. Banks. I've met Larry Banks before. He is he's a cool guy. I'm going to say he's a cool guy.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Larry is a 3-time Vietnam veteran, and after he got out of the Army, he decided he wanted to be in the Navy for a while, and then...
See, there's one thing you don't ever understand. You were in the war, you did this, and then they go back in and sign up again.
How about this one right here? Also, Mr. Thomas E. Waller. Mr. Waller is retired Army, and he was a 2-time Vietnam veteran, and after... Master Sergeant Waller retired, he was a junior ROTC instructor here at Greenwood High for 18 more years.
Wow, there you go. So we've got some great guys here, and one gal who definitely served her country by taking care of those guys that were burned and paralyzed in World War II. It is so much more to talk about, so many more to talk about. We're going to have great people coming into town for this, and we're going to talk more about them here in just a second. Guest speakers, South Carolina House of Representative Mike Pitts and Brigadier General R. Van McCarty, who is the Assistant Adjutant General. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to have a good group of guys here. Are we going to have any fireworks or anything?
Here comes the fireworks. Right
Okay.
now. The long and short is we had everything for a veterans parade and big hoopla and sequestration killing.
See, no, that's just not right.
That's fireworks right there.
That's fireworks right there. Those are fighting words right there. Hey, I'm Ann Eller right here with my friend Carey Bolt. We are going to hear a word from South Carolina News, and then we'll be back, so don't you go away.
Arg, are you a pirate or a pack rat? Do you have a vacation of a lifetime sitting in the attic? Or a college tuition hung on a wall? Or is a fabulous retirement hidden in your jewelry box? Bring those items to Sharp Facets Gallery. We can establish value and buy from you or sell for you. And so ends another chapter at Sharp Facets Gallery, 72 Bypass, and on the web, sharpfacets.com.
That's right. I'm Ann Eller right here with Carey Bolt, just enjoying this afternoon, looking at the list of the great guys. And, the problem with this is, Carey, there are a lot more than this list right here that are great guys that need to be recognized.
That's correct.
And gals.
Yes,
and gals, too. So while there are 22 here, we certainly need to mention, we're going to mention their names, but we certainly need to have more names mentioned and more names turned in, because it is quite a process You know, it's not easy to do this, is it, Carey? And one of the things that you mentioned when we first started talking about the Hall of Heroes is that veteran centers don't have to do this. This is something extra that y'all came up with to honor our veterans.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And so while we're looking at what a wonderful thing this takes a lot of work. They've got a lot of guests and whatnot coming for this from all over. They've got the national anthem going to be sung. They've got the posting of colors. They've got welcoming, introductions, more music, and it's just going to be an awesome ceremony. You know, the only thing you said, the fireworks is sequestration, so I guess that'll be it'll be nice and air conditioned is cool. I know the first time we did that, we did it outside on the when 9/11, when you had the wall here.
That's right.
It was hot out there. It's going to be air conditioned and comfortable for this ceremony, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yes.
Another thing also I was going to point out for you, Lander Brass Quintet.
Mm-hmm.
They're helping us, and to prove to you about our military VIPs, how much they believe in our program in Lawrence that's spinning off here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just use right here, Colonel Trevor Bredenkamp.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming from 82nd here.
Wow.
Now, back in 2007, we had a division commander come. They see our program online, and they like it. Okay, and all of our military people do, active and those who are our heroes being inducted. I mean, you understand, there's great people in this community throughout the country. But I'm saying, my job right now is to show off the people of this community, and there's a lot here, and people need to know that.
Sure. Now, when they're given really a shadow box plaque, what are you doing for them?
What we do is we're actually setting this up the same way as Lawrence. The Hall of Heroes itself, once we do the ceremony, we show off their shadow boxes at the ceremony. Mm-hmm. The next day we'll take it and we put it in the courthouse in Lawrence. We have some glass showcases. The shadow boxes stay on display for the public for a year. At the end of that year, shadow box goes back to the family or the veteran, and in turn we put up a plaque that stays in that courthouse forever. Like right now there's 200 something in Lawrence. That'll grow well beyond our lifetimes.
Sure.
What's going to happen here, our courthouse in Greenwood wasn't large enough to actually do that. So now that we were blessed by the county council with the Greenwood County Veterans Center, we have a huge museum, and that's where it'll be there.
Well, speaking of the museum, you are going to have the Hall of Heroes Museum that's going to be, they're taking in things, I think, every Thursday, and they're going to have that going, hopefully by Veterans Day. That's when they plan to open the first exhibit.
Our committee, that's what they want to do. We bought them a few additional things, interactive TV, Belks was really great. That gave us some showcases. We're looking for anybody to bring anything. Now we've got a computer system where we can log in anything anybody brings. We want to know the history of it, how it came to be, and we want to show off the greatness of Greenwood and the histories of these people.
Sure. So we're going to have a first-class museum here that will be open once they get it established. It'll be open on a regular basis for people to be able to go and school kids to go, and it's really going to be awesome. You know, Carol Scales and her whole group, I know Carol's name, but she has a whole group that are working hard to put this together. So you can just call down or go to the Veterans Center Thursday afternoons. I think it's like 1 o'clock to around 3 o'clock. And of course, I'm sure if it had to be another time that somebody would meet with the family and help them out.
Oh yeah, if somebody comes in after the hours, what we do, we take and we help them at the VA office. But the main thing is we want to ensure we know the history of whatever was brought, whether it be uniform, weapons, whatever the case may be. We log it in, so now we have a way to actually track it. We've got a climatized building. Mm-hmm. We have storage, so they can rotate out eras of military history if they want to. And the other thing is with the Greenwood City Museum, they're going to bring some of their stuff over, but they've never displayed that we have room to do.
Absolutely. And not only that, you know, when Carol and group were here, we were talking about the fact of how much, you know, some people, some states only have like World War I, World War II, this type of thing. We go all the way back to the Revolutionary War.
That's correct.
And I mean, we have some awesome collections that are going to be able to put together. So if you have things and you've had them for years and now maybe you're downsizing, or you just don't have a space, or maybe you'd like somebody else to be able to show it off and display it and tell the story that keeps it in our community, this would be an excellent place to take this and do this.
That's correct. One more thing I'd like to say too is now we have a 501c19.
Mm-hmm.
So
this has been a long time coming.
Oh, and you're dealing with the state and federal government. Ooh,
and you were lucky probably to get it. But I'm not going there. You don't have Tea Party in your name, do you? Sorry. Okay, there you go.
But anyway, what we did, we took in, we finally got it passed, and we're able to take and show tax donations. We also had the great support of Blip ever since I've been here. They helped me actually get started just with the wall. Mm-hmm. And then they helped me beat our way into council with the old library being a veteran center. And Bliss has been instrumental. They had a group of people, of the architect and the stone people from Elverton, Georgia. They came up, they did a walk through the building inside and out. And Cliff Thomas, he was instrumental in that. And they measured everything. They've come back with several designs, and what they're getting ready to do is make a decision. We're going to lay it out to the public, show them what we're going to do, and then they can help if they want to. And one thing for sure with this 501c19, you can show right down to the red penny where it came from and where it went.
And I don't know, I'm not jumping the gun, am I, that you're going to be able to do bricks for all those that you want to memorialize?
We're not going to do the red brick. We're using granite, I think.
Granite, oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. That's it lasts longer.
That sets it apart.
Yes, that's what we're going to do. We're doing something great here. Greenwood's a great place, and it's got great people, and we're doing something great.
So those, I guess in the near future we'll be able to get more information. I'll be able to get it out there to the folks to be able to memorialize somebody with a granite brick. Is it going to be like a brick?
That's right. There'll be different sizes and different prices. And the thing is, they're also looking at some benches and things like that. But the thing is, we want something out front, because when you first come into this great city, you go by the entrance of Lander, and the next thing you see is us. And we stand out, and we're going to even stand out better.
Absolutely. You know, the gardening that's been being done there, the healing garden in the back, and of course those 2 flagpoles. You can't say enough about the flagpoles. Now, those were a long time coming, but by God, Woodmen of the World got us 2 great flagpoles there.
Woodmen of the World are awesome people. Not only did they get the flagpoles, they also donated for downstairs in the building. The building is, you can see it when you look outside, it looks like 2-story, but it's really 3. The upstairs is, of course, storage, large storage. And then, of course, downstairs is the VA, the museum, and on the opposite side is Lander Army ROTC, and then downstairs is the BFW, DAV, Purple Heart Society, and more. So
there's a lot.
Oh, I'm telling you, everything's here.
Absolutely.
And then the Woodsmen of the World, they donated a microwave, refrigerator.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, great people, because they know it's a great thing, and they're just very supportive.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, giving back to your community. So we are going to talk more about this in just a second. Don't you go away. Stay right with us. But I got to hear a word from our sponsors that make all this possible. We'll be right back. Oh, that's right. We are right back here. Sharp Facets Gallery. I am Ann Eller. I'm here with my good friend Carey Bolt over there at the Veterans Administration. You know, if you are a veteran or you are a family member of a veteran and you are trying to get things situated for their needs, you can do no better than to call the Veterans Affairs Office. Was it 942-8531? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
942-8531. Give them a call. They are working for America's veterans, and I've heard some people say, no, they're on the side of the government, they're not going to do anything for me. I'm here to tell you that is not true. So if you're having a problem, if you've been turned down for some benefit that you should get, that you are owed, please make sure you see Carey Bolt and his staff down there. They do amazing things. I have seen it happen myself. So we had talked about coming up this Sunday. It is the Hall of Heroes. That's right, the 2013 program. It is at 3 p.m. Sunday. September 22nd at the Josephine B. Abney Cultural Center. And I tell you what, I saw it when I think it was about a year ago, I think it was when you had the opening of the Veterans Center there, you gave out some Purple Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wonder, and you had told me, when you get a group of the guys and they're going somewhere or something, they sit a little straighter, they stand a little taller. I went on an honor flight, and I saw guys that probably, if they'd been sitting at home, would have just been ho-hummed. But they were out going up there on an honor flight. World War II veterans, great stories. They stood a little taller. They had a great time, and they were proud, that their country recognized what they had given. And Carey, I know when you have these 21 men and one woman standing on that stage with you there, they're going to stand a little taller.
Oh, most definitely. You know, when you were telling the public about coming to the program, the little thing I'd like to touch on is, again, you never know who you walk by, and I see everybody, and I say this at the conclusion of each one of these Hall of Heroes programs, I see everybody riding around all over the country with the American flag in the back of the car and that yellow ribbon that says, "We support the troops." My question to you is, how do you support the troops, other than that $2 sticker?
Absolutely.
So, you don't have to be a veteran to come to this program.
No,
Okay.
you want everybody to come to this
That's
program.
right. And believe me, I like NASCAR, I like football, but maybe it'll be there next weekend when you come back.
Absolutely, and they'll have the reruns you can see later.
That's right.
Exactly.
But these people might not be there. That's
And
the
that
key
is the thing about this. That
That's
is
right.
the thing about this. In fact, I guess you have some that are doing post.
Posthumous? Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Yes, that's right, because not everybody will be there. But this is a great thing, and we all want to say that we believe in the military, we support our military. This is your opportunity to show that you support our local heroes right here in Greenwood. We read part of the list. I think we left off at Larry P. Banks, Mr. Warren C. Schultz, Mr. Terry Weeks, Mr. William E. Fisher, Mr. James H. Drake, Mr. Marion T. Tommy Cresswell, and we had already talked about Mrs. Tommy Catherine Cheatham Gray, Mr. Lloyd Staton Davis, Mr. Hilton L. Dodgen, give me 5, give me 10, give me 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yes, he's an auctioneer, but he also served his country.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Army Air Corps POW.
Yes, so, POW for World War II. Wow, World War II. Mr. McKinley Goodwin, Mr. William T. Rice, Mr. Ronnie E. Sprouse, Mr. Charles O. Reeves, Mr. James Free Dominic, Mr. Fred H. Caffey, Mr. David W. Andrews, and Mr. Jonathan E. Gillespie II. You are all heroes, and there are so many more, and you can make your person that that's a hero from any of the wars part of next year's presentation just by getting in touch. But we need to really say thank you to each and every one of these for your service to our country. Thanks for making Greenwood and the surrounding area a great place to be.
Oh, most definitely. One more thing I'd like to hit on too is the first year we did our recognition for Hall of Heroes, and we tried to start initiating the program. We give our veterans a pretty classy pin showing their Hall of Heroes from Greenwood, and we're bringing back our older guys from last year. So Mr. Marion Simpson, and he'll be giving his pin. Mr. Charles Turner, William Arnett, Clarence Weeks, Woodrow Wilson, and Senator Drummond, and also Mr. Marion Cornell. They'll get their pins, and of course, some of those would be posthumous.
Absolutely. But still, the thing about our guys and gals that were in World War II, they just came back and they just went to work.
They made the country.
They did. And here we are with our country the way it is, and we need some heroes to step up and make our country, I think, great again.
God, if you're out there, come on.
Yeah.
Step up. Help me.
I'm telling you, we do. And, if you can volunteer at the Veterans Center, hey, that's great, but we do need people to step up in our country. And without our military, where would we be, Carey Bolt?
I just don't think we'd be here.
I think it's something that we all need to think about and really understand that, what was that phrase, walk softly and carry a big stick? Is that the right word?
That's right.
Yeah, that
Well,
makes a difference, doesn't
I
it?
think our stick is being suppressed right now.
I think it is too. That's why I'm saying we need to walk softly and carry a big stick and make sure that we're not being suckered right here. But anyways, that's a day for another story. I'm Ann Eller right here with you this afternoon. Carey, you said you're going to have some great guests here. You're going to have music. It's going to be awesome. Now, if somebody would like to see about finding out how you go about getting somebody nominated for the Hall of Heroes, so we've got a few minutes here. Let's just go through that again.
All they need to do is bring verification discharge showing honorable service, DD 214, NGB Form 22. They can bring that, and with just a brief statement saying, hey, I want to nominate whoever for whatever.
I mean, you can't know all of them out there. You'd like to, but you can't know all of them out there.
No, I do not, and that's the thing. I mean, here's a prime example. By saying you never know who you walk by, one of the famous, most famous pieces of art of the Vietnam era, the man touching the wall and the ghost touching him back.
Right.
That ghost is a United States Marine who was in Vietnam 4.5 months before he lost his life. His name was Michael F. Banks. He was from Lawrence County. It was never put out for a long time until we brought the wall in 2007. And his name was on the back of that stone behind the historical courthouse in Lawrence. So, I mean, that's it. Greatness was there. We just never recognized it. We recognized him through his mother, Mrs. Banks. She was 82 or 83. She's still living. And she got to see her son as a hero.
Now that sends chills right up my spine.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, there's great people here. There's greatness that needs to be shown. Maybe that might start sparking patriotism back and bring us back to where we need to be thinking.
Well, that's true. That is true. So that is going on this Sunday. You want to be there 3 p.m. at the Hall of Heroes 2013 program. It is going to be over at Lander at the Josephine B. Abney Cultural Auditorium. Please be there. Please come out and support our military, support our local heroes right here in Greenwood. You have no idea how they probably are saying, oh, it's not necessary, but you'll have no idea how proud it will make them to stand a little taller when they receive those awards.
Totally.
Totally. That's right. I've seen it with my own eyes, so I know it's true. And we need some more women. I mean, I don't mean to say anything, but one woman out of 22 is just not enough. There are more women out there who served our country and did great things for us.
Help me. I mean, for Mrs. Gray, I had to beat her with a big stick too.
You had to beat her with a big stick.
Yeah. What I'm saying, I mean, please help me. Help me find people, because I'm not originally from Greenwood.
Mm-hmm.
I need your help. Help me to show off the greatness of this community.
That's right. Now, you can walk into the Veterans Center every day, Monday through Friday. The doors are open, aren't they, Carey?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. You can go in there. If you haven't been there to the center, I know you want to invite people just to come down and see the old library. You may remember the old library is kind of dingy and dark and kind of overcrowded. Wait till you go down there and see what they've done with it. It's got new carpet. It is bright. It is beautiful there. And they are looking for ideas. They're looking to help veterans. And they're also looking to make next year even a bigger program for our Hall of Heroes.
That's right. We're looking for volunteers, too.
Volunteers. Always need volunteers, whether it's helping with what type of thing?
Anything. I mean, we're looking for clerical. Even if you have ideas, we'll walk you through, and we're looking for anything, because this center represents your community and your state. And right now, I would say we're the biggest veteran center like this in the state.
That's right. And when I go to other places and I talk about it, people are always amazed, Carey, that we have such an awesome center here. I can tell you that. They are like, really? Really? In Greenwood? And I go, yes, in Greenwood. And if Carey Bolt and a group of other people hadn't got together and pushed this through, let me tell you, I might still be visiting you in that little office right there at Park Plaza.
All my head's over there in Park Plaza. All my hair.
Absolutely. This is WCRS right here in Greenwood. Carey, I just want to thank you because you took on this project. First, you were just so happy over there in Warren, South Carolina, just doing a nice job over there. Then you got kind of hooked into doing Greenwood too, and you just keep making things grow, and without the vision of somebody at the helm, it's pretty hard to get things done, but I applaud you for what you do for Greenwood.
Well, thank you, but I couldn't have done it without my staff and the great people of Lawrence and Greenwood.
That's right. You do have a good staff. So that's going to do it for us this afternoon. This is WCRS. Make sure you put Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m., Hall of Heroes 2013 program, and that will be at the Lander Auditorium. So make sure you're there. Don't miss it. You will miss a lot if you are not there. Thanks so much for tuning in today. That's going to do it for me. This is WCRS right here in Greenwood. Bye-bye, everybody.